What industry is booming way more than people think?
Wastewater treatment, because waste doesn't just disappear.
I work in the civil engineering field. Wastewater treatment isn't just a growing industry, it's booming. It's incredibly hard to find wastewater engineers right now. I think the unemployment rate is something like 0.5%, maybe even lower.
Hey, manager for water and wastewater plants. I quit 2 years ago to travel, and I still have old jobs and recruiters blowing up my phone every day like zombies.
Civil 3D designer here, working on water projects. Between raw water pipelines and treatment facilities, I feel pretty confident about my career. Water always needs to be moved somewhere.
If you work in land development, you basically gain access to a huge range of civil engineering fields because of the massive number of skills you need to master. It covers traffic, grading, roadway design, commercial design, potable water design and modeling, storm modeling and design, sanitary sewer design and modeling, floodplain analysis, detention and retention pond design and modeling, commercial development, close collaboration with surveying, grading, and earthwork. And I'm sure I'm still leaving a bunch out.
Utilities. Data centers are so desperate for energy that they're looking into having their own nuclear reactors.
I worked for a utility company near Atlanta, and in just 3 to 5 years, data centers became the biggest consumers of electricity by far. Before that, hospitals and shopping centers used the most, but data centers started drawing way more power.
I work for a major transformer supplier as an engineer. I design the pad-mounted ones. We're producing transformers as fast as we possibly can, but our order backlog is so long it's now being measured in years. Imagine ordering a PS5 and being told the shipping date is 2 to 4 years later. We're even experimenting with new designs just to meet demand and future efficiency standards that haven't been published yet. I can't go into full detail because of company confidentiality, but it's absolutely wild over here.
Every year our electric bill goes up because demand is outpacing supply, and supply costs keep rising. But every politician in our state is bending over backward for data centers. At the rate we're going, California's electric rates will look cheap compared to ours.
Sustainable packaging.
Packaging in general is booming with the rise of e-commerce. The problem is that it's almost become a commodity industry, so it's all about price and cost rather than design and performance.
It's super hard to break in with new technologies, though, because packaging producers are so cost-sensitive. Any new material has to be priced about the same or only carry a small premium. Otherwise, producers will just stick with what already works.
Grid-scale battery storage, used to store excess electricity from wind and solar farms for use during peak demand, is a massive and rapidly growing industry. It's expanding exponentially as battery costs keep dropping and demand continues to rise.
Storing excess energy from off-peak times for later use has always fascinated me. Batteries are improving and offer a lot of logistical advantages. In areas with large elevation changes, excess energy can be used to power massive pumps that move water into an upstream reservoir. That water can later be released to drive turbines and generate electricity again. There's about a 30% energy loss overall, but the system is simple, and if the energy would otherwise be completely wasted, it still makes sense. I'm definitely excited to see how all of this develops with the growing demand for energy.
Renewables across the board are going through a real renaissance, and BESS systems are a huge part of it. There's some amazing progress being made right now.
Pest control. Quietly growing at around 5–11% year over year. Private equity firms are buying up mom-and-pop shops like crazy, especially those making over $1 million in revenue with a solid business plan.
PE firms are going to destroy this country. LOL. Healthcare, veterinary clinics, chain restaurants, rental homes, retirement homes, and more. The list of industries seeing rapid growth under private equity is honestly pretty scary.
And yet, surprisingly, I haven't seen private equity itself mentioned anywhere in this thread, even though it's like a virus that has spread everywhere and is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, orders of magnitude bigger than anything else discussed. And like any particularly aggressive pathogen, it's managed to kill or cripple many of its hosts. For everyone talking about the endless decline in quality and blaming it on unchecked corporatism, which is really just legally mandated behavior under US corporate law. Though that's another discussion. The truth is that more often than not, it's actually a private equity firm driving your favorite company into the ground.
HVAC. More and more places where you used to get by just fine with an open window and a box fan are now becoming unbearably hot in the summer.
In the UK, the VPN business is absolutely booming right now.
Pet cremation.
Related, really. If you know how to source it properly, you can make serious money selling in Western market.
Pet care in general. If you compare how people took care of their pets a few decades ago to now, the difference is incredible. I don't know if younger people realize this, but in the early 2000s, if you wanted to care for anything other than a dog or cat, your only resources were those small information booklets from pet stores, which were usually full of outdated or incorrect advice. Online, you'd find clunky old websites with forum posts where people argued about how to cycle water for fish. My first rabbit ended up being litter trained by accident because there was zero information about free-roam rabbits, getting them fixed like cats or dogs, or how much better they do with companions. The only guidance I had in 2005 was that they needed hay, greens, and a weekly cage cleaning. But now, there's so much reliable information out there, and most pet owners genuinely want their pets to live long, happy lives, and are willing to spend money to make that happen. It's not that people didn't care before, that the knowledge and resources just weren't available. Despite everything else going wrong in the world, we're living in a golden age of pet ownership. And if anything, the stress of modern life has made people even more attached to their animals as sources of comfort and therapy.
The used car market. I work on the back end in commercial lending for car dealerships, and prices have gotten ridiculous. The tariffs, or even just the threat of them, on new cars have pushed used car prices way up. I sometimes go to auctions to track market trends, and recently saw a 2017 VW Jetta with 133,000 miles sell for $11,000. After auction fees and transport, that's about $12,000 before the dealer even does repairs or makes a profit. Before COVID, an 8-year-old Jetta would have gone for maybe $2,000 tops. But people keep paying these prices. My market share has gone up about 40% since January.
Sports betting.
As a big sports fan, I can't believe how out of control it's become. 10 years ago, it felt like it was a niche thing that your weird uncle did. Now you cannot go anywhere that has sports and not have it be a massive point of discussion. A large group of people, mostly men, are completely incapable of watching a sport now without having money on something or yammering about their parlay. I wish it was similar to cigarettes where they can't advertise it, or even regulated like alcohol where you can't show anyone actually partaking or having fun in ads. It's chipping the integrity of sports.
I wonder how many people quietly messed themselves since it got legal in my state. I made accounts for me and my wife to get all of the free promos. Made about $2,000 risk-free. Someone that gives a darn about sports could have made way more. Deleted everything once the freebies stopped. If they can afford to give me $2,000, they must be raking it in.
Plastic minis and war games. Seriously, Games Workshop brings in more for the British economy than the entire fishing industry. It's actually mad how much people will pay for that stuff when it's so cheap to make. Please ignore me and my Skaven army over here. It's entirely justified when I do it.
It's perfect timing, too. 40K has a not entirely unearned reputation as a dad hobby, and now that an entire generation of millennial strategy nerds has aged to the point where they have a spare $50 to $80 a month to spend on hobbies, Games Workshop is getting a huge proportion of that. We might not be able to throw down money on a $1.7 million home, but god damn it, with enough time, we can accumulate a $700 Warhammer army.